Bread time, baby. One of the simple pleasures in life, which is bread. Made up of primarily flour, obviously, water, yeast, salt. Simple, but delicious. You've got so many variations off of bread. You can make a brioche. You can make, I've just forgotten every single kind of bread. Baguettes, brioche, ciabatta. You can make thousands of variations of bread. There's so many. You can add anything to bread. I make a delicious apple bread. You can do anything. But today, we're using this very special dough to make one of the best things you can make out of bread, which is doughnuts, obviously. If you can tell by the title, we're making milk bread today. Milk bread, one of my favorite doughs ever since I went to Japan with my brother in 2020. Great year for traveling, I have to say.
Traveling Asia.
Great year for traveling Asia. We followed COVID around the world.
You were meant to go to China.
Our last stop on that trip was China. Yeah, we didn't go in the end. I wonder why. I think you're going home and you're staying home for 2 years. Sidetracked. We're making a milk bread dough, which I'm going to use to make two things. We're going to make doughnuts and we're going to actually make milk bread loaves. When I make doughnuts, I like them to be quite light and airy, and I find milk bread is the perfect dough for that because you got the tangzhong, correct me if I've said that wrong, tangzhong in there, which not only creates a softer crumb, it means it stays softer for longer, and I feel like it's just a really beautiful light and airy dough. It's not too much butter as a brioche. It's still got a lot of sweetness in there that you add in with the sugar. I think it's just delicious. I remember going to the bakery on a Sunday, on a rugby day to be specific, getting a jam donut covered in sugar, and me and my siblings would have a thing where you have to eat it with the whole thing without licking your lips, so you just got covered in sugar, it's everywhere. That was the only thing I liked about watching rugby. I don't mean that. To mix it up a little bit, I'm going to be making a rooibos panela dough, which panela sugar is this natural cane sugar. It's got really delicious flavour to it. It's almost like caramelized, which I feel like will complement the rooibos tea, probably saying that wrong, really nicely, which is a uncaffeinated. I see a lot of Mormons drink it. Mormons being Nara Smith. She is the main Mormon. When I think of Mormons, I think of her.
Okay, gold collab.
I'm not chill enough at all for her. I'm not stylish either. So the dough is gonna have rooibos tea, panela sugar, so it's a really nice caramelly flavour. Then, the jam we're putting inside, it's gonna be with garden berries. We're gonna go on a little foraging. I'm not sure what's happening out there right now. We got a mulberry tree. We're gonna hit these hot spots. Mulberry tree, currants. We got red and black currants. We're gonna fuck around. We'll see what we get. So it's probably gonna be a mixed berry jam. I'm gonna be honest, in a jam donut, I don't want a chunk. It's gonna be a smooth jam. I'm probably gonna set it with agar again. I don't like putting a lot of sugar in my jam, okay? I like to cheat, so we're cheating. And I'm not preserving it, okay? This is a day jam. We're eating it today. It's not yesterday's jam. We're not throwing it away. Last step, the sugar that we're rolling it in is going to be a vanilla sugar, which I'm gonna make by blending used vanilla pods. So I've fucking scraped the fuck out of them, infused them, and then, what do I do with that bit? We're gonna blend it and put it in sugar. Delicious way to use up those vanilla pods left over, because you don't want to throw them away. One vanilla pod is like, what, 50 pounds? We learned that Kneading project in like 2014. Its weight was worth more than silver. Does that make sense? What the hell? The dough we are making for these is a milk bread, which I get out of this nifty little book. One of my favorite cookbooks at the moment. I love it. It is by Christina Cho. Mooncakes and milk bread. As the title implies, great milk bread recipe. I use it a lot. I use it for my afternoon teas as well, for the actual sandwiches. I love it. As well as making that donut dough, I'm going to be making a regular dough with a little spin that we're going to use to make some milk bread loaves, which we're going to make fruit sandos with. If you live in the UK, you know what M&S is. And if you know what M&S is, then you've got to know about this fruit sandwich. It's sold out everywhere. So we're just gonna make our own. I remember eating them in Japan with my brother. They were delicious. We're gonna make them even more delicious. I have made milk bread donuts before. What have I learned from this? Make the dough the night before, because the milk bread, this recipe, is quite soft. Shaping little balls can be quite tricksy in that it's soft and loose, it gets messy, okay, it's hard. So I like to make it the night before, so it's a little easier to work with. done a little Blue Peter moment. I made one earlier. That's in the fridge. There's no footage of that. But we are making another dough today. And I will tell you how I added those extra elements that I did. Okay? We are okay? We're on the same page? All right, let's go. Dough number 2, electric boogaloo. This is milled. Quite near here. Is Wessex quite near here? I know this is a good flour. Richard Bertignier sells this.
You met that guy?
I met that guy. I was really drunk. I just lost the competition and I drank like 3 glasses of champagne on an empty stomach. And I was like, fucking love you, bread man. Fucking love you, and I love your bread videos. I've seen all of your bread videos, dude. Fucking sick. Anyway, I hope he doesn't remember me. Okay, so yeah, we're using this really nice, here you go. I don't know if that's near here, but it's a UK milled flour. Oh, hello, Meg. Sorry, I didn't expect you to go up there. We are going to be making 3 loaves because as well as using this to make the fruit sandos, this is going to be our dinner tonight. I will link this cookbook in the description below. Highly recommend you use it. I love it. I love it. I need to see how much of this flour I have left from making the dough yesterday. Because if I don't have enough, we're going to add some rye flour, which can make quite a dense bread, but I like the flavour. It's got a tang to it. This is what you usually use to make sourdough starters. Let me do some maths. 335 times 3. I want to make 3 loaves. That's 1,005. I definitely don't have that much. How much do I have? That's fine. Yeah, okay. We're going to do 800 grams flour, normal bread flour, and then we're going to use some of this Dove's Farm flour. Isn't that beautiful? This is actually an ancient grain flour. It was widely made in Central and Eastern Europe during the Middle Ages. This is fucking ancient flour. So I actually did 805, and then let's hope our little mixer can deal with this much bread. That's how much flour we need. You can see that beautiful flour on the top there. I think this will really complement our secret ingredient, which we'll come to later. That was just to make sure I had enough flour. That really isn't the first step. The first step is make your tangzhong, which is essentially, if you've ever made a roux, then you know what this is. Let's see, I tried to save a bit of flour. 8 grams. I don't know if you can make a tangzhong with rye flour, so we're not doing that. I have some more flour. I only need 60 grams of this. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If it does matter, don't talk to me. It's fine. 60 grams of flour. And then to that, we need 300 grams of milk. A tangzhong is a roux. So you literally just want to whisk your flour and your milk together over a heat to create a thick paste. She says like mashed potato, which I find very helpful because it does turn into the texture of mash. So I'm going to mix over 6 medium heat. You just want to whisk this together. So essentially, tangzhong helps to create a softer crumb in your bread, and it also helps to lengthen the shelf life of what you're making. So it basically means that whatever you're making stays softer for longer. It's not going to go stale as quick. That's so lovely, especially because with fried products like donuts, they tend to go stale quicker. A donut is something you want to eat the day it's made. But I do find this makes it so the next day donut, it's not going to be so bad. We just want to whisk this till it's a thick paste. Okay, she's doing it. Okay, perfect. That's what we want. Our tangzhong is done. So you just want this to cool down because you don't really want to be working with hot stuff in your dough. So you just want to set that aside to cool down. This can form a little bit of a skin. I'm just going to smush it up the sides so it cools down a little faster. And then you want to take some cling film. You just want to push it so it touches the surface, just so it doesn't form a skin. And I'm gonna just go shove that in the freezer. Don't clean this pan. We're gonna go in with 375 grams of milk. Oh, so close. I have more milk. Why is it in there? Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. It's freshly milked, freshly squeezed.
What? You made it so worse.
Don't ask questions. Okay, now we want to heat this. You don't want this hot. You want to take it up to basically, she explains this really well in this book. You basically want to bring it to a gentle simmer because that does something to the whey. 1 minute. Did I imagine her saying that? You basically want to bring your milk to a simmer because I believe it basically kills the whey. It does something to the whey in the milk, which makes the bread rise better. Sure. So, heat up your milk. Make sure you don't boil it. So keep an eye on it. She's getting steamy. Take it off. If you are using instant yeast, which I am not, you would put that in there to make sure it's active and activate it and kind of dissolve it into the liquid. But I use fresh yeast. I prefer the flavor of it and it's more fun. It smells incredible. If you've never used fresh yeast before, I would highly recommend you do, because I feel like it gives a different sort of flavor to your bread. While that's cooling down, into your flour that you've already weighed out, we'll put this yeast in. I just kind of crumble it a little bit in just to make sure you just give it a little head start. In the kneading process, it just kind of will dissolve into the dough nicely. Do that so it's like immersed, because you don't really want to dump salt or sugar directly onto yeast. That's a big no-no. Into this, so she says 50 grams. I did 50 grams of sugar in the donut dough, but this dough, I don't really want it as sweet. So we're gonna take that down 40 grams, not by much. 120 grams of sugar. See, it's a fair amount of sugar to put in your dough, because we are going to be making chicken salad sandwiches out of this later. 120 grams. I do quite like a little bit of sweet and salty, you know? A little bit of a sweet bread. It's my favourite popcorn. I ate 3/4 of a bag of popcorn for dinner last night and half a tub of ice cream. That was my dinner.
That's chef life.
Yep. I felt great. I woke up, I was like, why do I feel like shit? Why do I feel like shit? Woke up, fucking popcorn bag still in my bed. I was like, you piece of shit, what's wrong with you? Anyway, salt. If I had one critique of this recipe, can I do that? I love this recipe. It's not salty enough. I like to taste a little bit of salt in my bread. She says half a teaspoon of salt for this recipe. So that's 3 grams, 6 grams. So I would need 9 grams. I'm gonna do 15 grams of salt. I like things salty, I guess. I am also using pink salt, which is quite a salty salt. Well, we'll find out later if this was the right choice. I think it'll work. If you have like a piece of bread that's not seasoned correctly, it's so sad. I remember once when I was in Japan and we'd done a bonfire and we were doing bread on a stick over the bonfire. I was the only person that cooked my bread fully. Everyone was sticking it in the fire, burning it, and then it was raw on the inside. I was very patient. And then I went to try it. They didn't put any salt in the fucking dough. It just tasted like nothing. It tasted like sad. Don't do that. That's everything we need in for our dry. All reliable. I break everything I touch. So into there, we're going obviously with our tangzhong and our milk, and also 3 eggs, 3 oofs, and then our secret ingredient, hey. So I did say, we're enriching this with butter. Brown butter, to be precise. This is something I browned earlier. Well, it's such a simple thing to do, but it just takes everything up a notch, doesn't it? I browned this the night before and set it in the fridge, and then I took it out this morning, so it's a little bit soft. I just took these out of the fridge because they're ready to go. They're just like warm. I can actually tell you exactly which temperature. That is 39 Celsius, 101 Fahrenheit. There you go. Fahrenheit. Weigh out 165 grams of butter. We're doing brown butter because it's more delicious, yes. There we go. Beautiful. We're going to put in our tangzhong. Tangzhong in. And then gonna go in with our milk. So when I was making the dough last night, before I put the milk in, so I took the milk to that simmer and then I dumped the tea in. How much tea did I put in? That's a great question. I put a handful. I'm gonna be honest with you, I put as much rooibos tea as I had left. I'll figure it out, okay? I think I can figure out how much that was. It looked like 5 grams of tea. Okay, so that's how I infused the tea into the milk bread. Also, just obviously, instead of the granulated, I put in panela sugar. I also actually put in a little bit of vanilla in the dough. This will be in the recipe description. All right, eggs in. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's kind of just all submerged there. This is something that I do with my doughs. You don't have to do this. And this kind of just starts it off. Also, this mixer is really shit and old. I'm just giving her a little start. There you go, just so it's like that. Sorry. I'm sorry for using my hands. I never have that on. So just start to knead it. So once this forms a dough, once it starts clumping together, butter's going in. I'll see you then. That's literally just mixed for like 30 seconds. And then I just want it to go in, make sure there aren't any. See, you can see I'm pulling it up. Will that dry? So I just want to take it completely off, just go under and bring all of that dry up. So you can let that go for a little longer now. The rye flour doesn't make it a nice colour, but it tastes good, so. Our dough is one homogeneous mush, but it's not really started forming any gluten yet. I haven't taken it very far. Now I'm gonna put all my butter in. There's many ways you could do this. You could do this like brioche, where you drop a little bit at a time, but I'm not that kind of gal. I'm not feeling like that today. I'm gonna smush it all in. The ghost just helped me. Okay, you're done. And we're done. And then just turn it on. And because my butter's soft, it will just slowly incorporate into your dough. This is another reason why you want to make sure you cool down your milk and your tangzhong, because if your dough's too hot, then your butter will just melt, and then you'll get a really soft dough, and it's not great. We're basically gonna leave this. The butter will start to incorporate. Once it's incorporated, we're gonna let it knead for like 5-10 minutes. Then we'll come back. All right, I'll see you then. I'm just scraping down the sides of the bowl. Just keep an eye on it. If you see it's sticking a bit, so I just like to scrape down, make sure everything's getting a good kneading. And you can see all of my butter is now incorporated into my dough nicely. We're just gonna let that go for like 5-10 minutes on 2, speed 2. Just gonna have a little peek at our dough. The gluten's forming quite nicely. Good way to check that is your window pane. You see? Ooh, that's looking pretty good to me. I feel like we're basically there. I'm manhandling the fuck out of this, I'm so sorry. But you basically take a bit of dough, basically you want to stretch it. If you could see the light through, and see how thin it is, that gluten.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
Moisturize me.
I'm very happy with that. Can you see, with this dough, after kneading it, trying to shape that into donuts? Be hard, and it is hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer. I'm just going to stop there. There is such a thing as over kneading. You don't want to do that. Move her. Oh my god, guys. Here's one I made earlier. This is the dough that I made yesterday. This is this stage just put into the fridge. And it's basically had its bulk rise in the fridge. So you can see it's risen. And you can see this beautiful colour we got from our tea. I'm just gonna smack it down. Look at that. Ooh, squelchy. Don't look at that. That's horrible. It's condensation in the bowl. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't know how much dough we've actually got here. Let's figure that out. I'm thinking for donuts, 50 grams. And you can see the consistency of that and the consistency of that. This is going to be so much easier for us to shape into little balls. So we got 1,439. I think we're doing 50. That would give us 28 donuts. Is that too many? Let's see what 50 grams looks like. Because it is going to rise again. 28 is a lot, isn't it? We're doing like 60, 65 grams. So hold that thought. I need to clean this surface. Just going to use a little bit of coconut oil so it doesn't stick. So you always want to rise your doughs twice. So this is the first rise. This is what we call our bulk fermentation. Because it's an enriched dough, it takes slightly longer. So it'll be anywhere from 1 to 2 hours at room temperature. Obviously we did that one overnight. The longer you let your dough rise for, the better the flavor's gonna be. So, because that one was overnight, it's gonna have a slightly deeper flavor to this one. The weather's quite nice tonight, so we'll check in about an hour. We want this to completely double in size. Shut the lid on that. I'll just put a little towel over it. She's gonna have a little nap over here. I'm gonna take a nap right here. We need little bits, little squares of paper, which we're going to be proving our dough onto. You'll see what I mean. I think I'm gonna do 65 grams. So I think we're gonna get like 20-ish. I'll give you half this recipe in the description because no one needs 20 donuts. Unless you're me. We're gonna need, Mum's gonna hate me for this, a damp tea towel. I'll take the fall for that one. You basically want a damp tea towel and you want to keep your dough covered at all time. So we're gonna divide this into 65 gram balls. A good trick I found is you make a little hole in the center of your dough. You just kind of do this. Boom, boom, 10, 10. Boom, boom, 5, 5, 5, 5. But I am gonna weigh them because I'm extra. I wanna make sure they're all consistent. I'm not there with you. I'm not one to judge. If you wanna just go with that, go with that. You don't have to weigh them if you don't want to. You just might wanna check each one when you're baking them if they're a little inconsistent. That's 85 grams, so. What is she talking about? I call this pre-shaping. So I'm literally gonna take it and just try and create a bit of a smooth surface. So I'm not fully shaping them, but I'm just making sure that they're not like, I'm not putting them down like that. I'm creating a bit of a ball shape and we're gonna cover that with the towel. Lovely. And now continue for all of them. We've got all of them pre-shaped. You'll notice I didn't use any flour for that because I find when you're pre-shaping them, if you add flour to the mix, it can get kind of like caught up in the dough when you're like folding it into a nice shape and you can have like a dry patch of flour inside your dough. Not very nice, but now we're fully shaping them and you will want a little bit of flour. Plain flour works fine. So you just want lightly dusted work surface like that. I'm using a tall baking tray. I'm gonna pop them in here, cling film over the top, and I don't really want the cling film to touch the top of the donuts, so having that height means that they'll be able to rise without anything touching them. Each of those little bits of paper as well, I'm gonna give a little spray, because I don't actually want the donuts to stick. I want them to be able to peel off when I'm popping them into the oil. A little flour pile there, so dot, dot, dot. Do want a little patch with no flour so you can stick it down, and then the best way I find for shaping around is to take your hand, a little bit of flour on it, and you cup it, and you just kind of roll the dough like that. And you get a nice smooth top, and it's done. And then we're gonna pop that on there, and you kind of want to give it a little smush, because donuts, you don't want them to be like big balls, you want them to be like flat rounds. So you just want to smush it down a little bit, and that's it, that's done. So repeat. We're gonna let those prove probably for about 30-45 minutes. We want them to get nice and puffy, almost, I'd say 1.5 in size, not completely doubled. In that time, we're gonna go picking. Then hopefully by the time we're back, that'll be time to start heating up the oil to fry them. Another wipe down. Let's go picking. Oh, yay! Pippin's coming with us. So's Mary. Go on. Good boy. That's the pond. This wasn't here when we moved in. They made it. This is the business. This is what we're talking about. Thriving in this good weather. But first we must go to the greenhouse. Into the greenhouse. This lady, if she knows how to grow something, she knows how to grow cucumbers. Look at that one. These are the pickling ones, like salad eating ones.
That's long.
We've got a lot of lemon verbena. We're gonna remember this. This might come back up. And we've got tomatoes. They're green at the moment, but oh my God. It's fine, we're outside. I'm washing the berries anyway. Let's go. That's our woods. It's full of crows. Crows and rabbits. Sometimes we get deer, sometimes we get little fucks called muntjacks. Have you never seen a muntjack? Think of someone took a deer, made it really small and fucked looking. That's what it is. This could be quite a scary place. It's full of bugs, it's full of spiders. Sometimes birds get trapped in here as well. We're just gonna pick whatever and we're gonna make something out of it. So we've got some raspberries. Still some raspberries. I thought all the raspberries were gone. You see, the problem with this is I got to get over there. Usually I have a big stick and that helps me. I shouldn't have had bare legs and we get scratched to shit. I'm going to get bitten by something by the end of this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at that yield. We are here for these babies. Look at them. Beautiful. I'll be having you. You go to the shop, buy these, £1 million. Doesn't everyone have 1,000 red carrots in their garden? What the hell?
Welcome to the fruit cage.
You're gonna die! We've also got black currants as well. You can get a couple of them. What are you doing? You're not even in the fruit cage. What the fuck? Guys, if you have a fruit cage, leave some for the birds. That's how it works, that's the circle of life. They wake us up every morning. We give them berries. That's just how this works, you know? And then the crows fall and the foxes eat the babies. Circle of life. I don't think black currants exist in America, which is crazy because that means you've never had Ribena. What was your childhood if you had no Ribena? Okay, there are less spiders than there were last time. When I was here last time, it was horrible. I got sunburn and I got like 50 spider bites. Hey, there's a ladybug. What are you doing in there? Extra protein. There are loads of bugs in there. Hey, at least we'll have enough jam for 20 donuts. It's been very dry. And you know what Gully said? Gully said, hey, it's been so dry. Great time for a bonfire. Biggest bonfire I've ever seen. Oh my God, hi little guy. Pretty good yield. Make sure you lock it or it'll be full of birds. Ow! Thorns! Whoa! Yeah. Okay, see, they're a little bit too light. I'd say a week and they'll be there. Oh, that's, oh, if she fell, she was like, I'm ready. That's the color we want and that's what we're looking at.
Sorry.
There we go. There's some up there that are ready. Do we have a ladder? I need a big stick. Oh, it's dripping on me. It's so juicy. Look at that. I'd say we've got like 10 of them. And that is good enough. We'll get some of that flavor in that jam. Where? Ah! Ow! God damn it. We got a friend! Ah, it's tickling me! Okay, we gotta release her. Don't worry, don't panic. Don't fly yet. Right, now fly. Timed that so perfectly. Donuts are looking good. They're proving up quite quickly, so we're gonna get our oil on. This is some oil that I've been reusing. This has been used about 2-3 times to bake donuts. I do have a bottle of falafel oil, which is labeled because maybe I've made that mistake before, and you don't want falafel donuts. Unless maybe you do. This is some fresh oil. I just have this just in case this isn't enough, but I think this will be enough. We're gonna fill up our Dutch oven. When it comes to frying with oil, you wanna have a deep pan because it's gonna splatter a little bit, and sometimes if you put something in that's got a lot of moisture, it will start to bubble and it could bubble over, which is bad. You don't want that to happen. So we're gonna heat this slowly over a low heat. We want it to get to like anywhere from 170, 180 degrees to fry donuts. We're not going for a shallow fry. We're basically deep frying these. I'm gonna put it on 5. This can be quite dangerous, okay? Frying at home, you have to be very safe with your oil. No water goes near it. Make sure you have a deep pan, clear surface. Gotta be careful, okay? You burn yourself very easily. If you pour this much hot oil onto yourself, that can be fucked. That could kill you. Be careful. So I've got this jam thermometer, which I'm gonna use for this. Just clip it to the side, and we want it to get to like there. Mostly just the red currants need to come off the stem. The rest are quite loose that I'm just gonna pick through. Make sure there's no leaves, no spiders or ladybugs. Then we'll give them a good wash. We don't really need to dry them out too much once they're washed because we're just gonna cook them in a pan anyway. We'll cook the moisture off. These are quite tart, these berries, so we'll probably do like 25% for the weight in sugar. And I'll probably do a little bit of lemon in there as well, just to add a little zing. God, I feel like there's something crawling up my leg. Just washed my berries, given them a little rinse, and we're just gonna put them in this pan, and I'm gonna cook them on the stove. I've rethought the jam. I think I am gonna leave some texture into it. So I'm just gonna weigh it out now. That's 650. Is it cheating if I add some strawberries from the freezer? I got a little bit soft fruit in my fridge that's looking a bit sad. So I'm just gonna put that in as well. Waste not, want not. Ooh. 800 grams, there we go, I feel better about 800. No, I'm gonna do 150. We never went to the blueberry bush. Could do blueberry muffins maybe in another video. Let me know if you're interested in that, hey. Okay, they've seen better days, but we just need the juice. I'm gonna put the juice of probably just one actually. These fruits are quite sour, but I like the acidity from the lemon. Homegrown jam with a couple of strawberries and raspberries from Sainsbury's, but you know, that's fine. We're gonna just put it on the back, on low, just so the fruit can start to soften. Our oil is getting there. A good way to tell when you're proving dough is if you touch it and it's still bouncy, give it longer. You want it to, when you poke it, the dent stays. There you go. We've got 3 loaf tins. So we're just gonna cut a slip of paper to fit into each one. Paper in tray. This just means that you'll be able to lift your bread out and it won't stick. But usually bread doesn't really stick that badly, but you know, I like being a bit safe, I like being a bit cautious. I'd say that is doubled in size. Look at that. For this is quite soft, as I've said before. So we're just gonna turn it out onto a lightly floured work surface. Oi. And you just want to knock it back. So taking all that air out. Just like so. And I'm folding it like that because I want to divide this. What's wrong? We've just noticed that, Meg will find out in the footage when I lost this little fluff. Back to what we were doing. So we're going to divide this big bit of dough into 3. So we should roughly guess that. I will be weighing it, don't worry. So we want about 700, it's a bit much, take that out. So now, each of these ones, we're gonna separate into 3 again. So it's like a 3-segmented loaf. Where's my damp tea towel from earlier? Remember to keep the dough you're not working with covered. 230 grams-ish per section. Okay, so you basically, for each one, I'll show you one and then I'll come back to it. So it's similar to what we did last time, except now we're literally going to do pretty much like a full shaping into a round, very loosely though, like that. So do that for each of them. With this one, you kind of like flip, fold, and pull towards you. You can use a scraper as well, if it's sticking at all. And then last one. So you can see it's, because it's not cold from the fridge, it's a little tricksy to work with. So if you're trying to do balls that are quite small, it's a little challenging. That's why I prefer to chill it the night before for donuts. But repeat that for the other 2. Once we're at this stage, I'm just going to grease my tins while that gluten relaxes, because you've been working the dough, so it's gonna be quite tight. So you just want to let it sit for like, I keep breathing this in. You just want to let that sit for 5 minutes. This is how you shape a 3-segmented milk bread loaf. Lightly flour, and then we're going to take one of our balls, and then that smooth side, go face down. Take a rolling pin, flour, just so it's not going to stick, and just roll it. Kind of form a square, and then into like a rectangle sort of shape, just like that. And then we're going to fold that in and that in, so your seam touches in the middle. Dust away any flour you've got, stick that down like that, and make it a little bit wider. And then you just take this and roll like that. And then with your scraper, pick it up just like that and go into one of your lined trays. That's one. It's one of your 3 segments. All right, now we repeat. Final one going in. You just kind of tuck them in so it'll be nice and snug. There you go. Repeat that for all of your loaves. And if you're just doing one, then you're done. But I'm not. Sandwich dinners are kind of the best dinners. So, look at these beautiful babies. The cling film, I'm just going to give a little spray with some oil because I don't want it to stick to the dough while it's rising. And then you want to quite loosely place that because it's going to rise, and if you tightly put it on, it's going to inhibit that. I've just set my oven to like 170, so while the bread proofs be about like 45 minutes to an hour, so we'll just let that preheat in the meantime. Let's clean up. So let's give our jam a little try. Oh my god, the black currants really come through in that. And I think that's perfectly sweetened. Meg, you want to try? Mm-hmm. It is quite loose, so I'm going to set it with agar. Yes, that is what we want. For this amount, I'm going to do 8 grams of agar. This isn't registering at all. I'm using the lid of a little Tupperware. Maybe that's the wrong choice. I need something quite light. All right, we're almost there on the oil. I'm just gonna turn it down slightly because we don't need our oil just yet, and it's just about reached temperature. We're on like 175, so I've just turned it down to 4, and I'm hoping that will hold at that temperature, but if I see it dropping, I'll just pop it up again. That's the problem. If you don't have a proper fryer, you're gonna have to keep adjusting the temperature of your stove to make sure your oil temperature is consistent. And while you're frying, once you put something in, it's gonna drop. So you're gonna have to make sure you crank it up again. We might just have to use whatever I've got left. Well, we got 6-ish grams. Oh, there's a little bit in the box. What's in the box? Yeah, fuck it. 6 grams is probably fine. I'm gonna just blend it into this jam. Now this is, I'm looking at my shirt color. I'm looking at the color of this. Bib mode. Maybe I was gonna put that in and blend it in. Beep, beep, beep. Glorious. Okay, we will be giving this a secondary blend once the agar is set. So I'm just gonna put this back on heat just so it comes up to a bubble and I know that that agar has been activated. This won't take very long. Done. And then we're just going to chill it completely so it sets up. I got the equivalent of like 3 vanilla pods here, which I've used for previous recipes and I've just scraped out and they're left to dry. These we can also sit some of them in sugar to kind of create a vanilla infused sugar, which you can also do, but that needs to sit for like a couple of months to properly get it infused. What I'm doing is, this is about 3 pods. Putting them in there, and then we're just gonna give it a blend. I'm hoping this blender is powerful enough to turn this into powder. Okay, it's kind of working.
What if you blend the sugar with it?
Yeah, but that's a no going back point. You know what, fine, yeah. I'm gonna blend the sugar with it. I'm eyeballing this. We'll do that much. I just remembered as well, it's going to turn it into powdered sugar.
Which we don't want.
No, not really. Yeah, I shouldn't have listened to you, Meg. I guess we're just going to have to go with it. I'm thinking. I mean, it smells like vanilla.
It smells amazing.
It's not gone that fine, because this is a granulated sugar as well. It's not that bad. I might put some of that in as well, so it's still got a bit of a chunk. But for how much we started off with, that's not bad. I'm just going to put that in with some sugar to infuse what we got left. I'm not too mad about that. It has gone quite fine. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of this so we get that coarse bit of sugar in there as well. Not too bad, you know.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby, a little bit more. I will change receptacle. Lovely, look at that. A little draining station and a cooling station. So we're gonna put our donuts onto that, basically. When they first come off, I put them directly onto the kitchen roll so they can drain off a little bit, and then they'll go into the sugar, and then they'll go onto there. 1, 2, 3, let's go. All right, over to the oil. We're at about like 175. Always have a secondary thermometer. Yeah, that's a little low. So I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit. In the meantime, let's check our donuts. Floured fingy, dust that off a bit. And then just give them a poke. You can see that's not springing back completely, so we know we're ready to go. Okay, we'll just let that oil come up. Oven's preheating, that dough's resting, jam's on the go, sugar's ready. Boys and girls, we're almost here. I think it's time to make a matcha. Okay, we're ready to fry. We're gonna go in with our baby tester first. Pick them up by the paper, like so, and we're just going to gently, whoop. I'm thinking 1 to 2 minutes per side. We'll go for 2 minutes because they are quite big. I'll show you with this guy and then I'll fry the rest of them. Hopefully this one goes right then. So 2 minutes. You don't want to crowd it too much when you're frying because one, the temperature's going to drop too much if it's too full, and they're not going to cook through all the way. And if they're like too crowded, they're not going to get a nice golden color on all around, you know? It's all about patience. All right, we're flipping. It's been about 2 minutes on that side, so I'm just going to flip. Do I use the word perfect too much? Because I'm about to use it again. Look at her. All right, well, it's puffing up quite a bit at the bottom, but it's pretty perfect. Look at that golden brown. Because this dough was already quite brown, it's quite a dark brown, but I promise it's not burnt. Bubble, bubble, all in trouble. I think 2 minutes on each side is gonna be perfect. Donuts almost ready, Meg? Okay, it's been 2 minutes. In 5 seconds, it's been 2 minutes. We're gonna take her out. So, go straight onto our kitchen roll so it can drain a little bit. And straight away, especially because this is the first one, I'm gonna take a probe and go into the middle. We're looking for 85. Please, 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 please. Yes, boys and girls, we're there. Oh, it's so light. I could throw this around. All right, while it's still hot, you wanna go straight in to your sugar. You can just kind of zhuzh it around. Actually, I think the sugar's a perfect consistency.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Meg. All right, now onto there to cool down. Beautiful, let's fry some more. Okay, boing, boing, boing. We're just gonna break into this guy. We also wanna check the crumb. A moment, please. It's so light and fluffy. Look at that, and it's perfectly cooked through. Look how light it is. Oh my God, that's so good. The vanilla sugar is a wonderful touch, Meg. You do get a little hint of the rooibos tea. I probably could have done it a bit stronger. Again, I used only the tea I had left, but that is so light and fluffy with that jam. It's gonna be off the chain. As you can see, Our milk bread loaves have risen lovely. If you give them a poke, leaves a little dent. I've just made a little egg wash with egg, obviously, and a pinch of salt. I'm just gonna brush them all. Okay, lovely. Nice little glaze egg wash. So they're gonna go in this oven, which is set to 175-ish. And we're gonna bake them for like 30 minutes, but I'm gonna check them in like 25. Right, in the meantime, let's check our jam. Also, we've fried all our donuts. I've just left the oil off the heat to cool down. You want it to cool down completely. Just leave it alone and cover it so it's safe. We've got, you see, it's all solidified. That's what we want. We're gonna take our immersion blender, which I didn't clean from earlier. I'm gonna plug it in and then we're gonna blend. I want to dress nice for the videos, but then I dress in my nice clothes and I get covered in shit. And it's like, what's the point? Sorry, Meg, I'm touching the mic. That's pretty good consistency. I'm gonna be here for a while. It's time to fill. We've got our jam here. Meg, okay, I gave up about 5 seconds into passing that and Meg did it for me. I would recommend straining it. So put this jam into our piping bag. Maybe that was too much jam in this one piping bag. I think it'll be fine. You spin, spin, spin. It's nice and taut. Bing. Piping bag of jam. Next. I'm making this for the fruit sando, but I feel like jam and cream in a donut, that's gonna be fucking good, especially with this jam and those donuts. So I'm gonna do a little extra. I'm gonna make it now. It's gonna be a mascarpone cream. So I'm literally gonna do equal parts mascarpone and double cream. So we've got 250 grams in this pot of mascarpone. So mascarpone goes in first. I just kind of want to loosen it a little bit, just so I can put my cream in. I'm gonna whip them together. I'm just gonna whip it by hand because it's not that much. She might regret this decision. Who's she? She is me. 10% sugar in my whipped creams, my chantilly. So we're gonna do 50 grams icing sugar. Don't worry about sieving it. You're gonna whip the shit out of it so I don't get any lumps out. We're gonna put some vanilla in. I don't know if the M&S one or the one in Japan, they use the mascarpone cream. I don't know if they put vanilla in. I don't care, I'm doing it my way. They probably don't use strawberries from Sainsbury's, so it's all gonna be a bit different, isn't it? We've got 2 minutes till we can check our bread. I'm just gonna let that drip until I'm happy with it. All right, that's fine. Then we're gonna whisk it by hand, because that's how you show that you care, you know? When you say, here's a dessert I made, also I hand whipped the cream, people go, oh, she really cares, doesn't she? And she's probably quite jacked. The challenge is, can you whip it in one go without stopping? We want quite a light whip on this. I don't want it to be too firm. Around this point, I want to kind of slow down, so I don't want to over whip it. How thick and glossy that is from the mascarpone. Look at that. There's always a fine line between over and under whipping. Just putting it in a sandwich. That's probably good. Time to check our bread. It's been in for, whoa, 25 minutes. Oh, she has risen. Look at that. I'm just gonna flip it around. These guys on the top looking good. Oh yes. We're eating good tonight, folks. I'm gonna give it like 10 more minutes, I think. I'm just gonna put this cream into a piping bag. Tie her up. There we go, we got our jam and our cream. Now that our donuts are cooled, pop them in. And they've cooled down completely, so I'll be fine piping in cream into some of them as well. Okay, perfect. They could be our cream boys. So I find the best tool for this is a chopstick. Ta-da! So you just take your chopstick, shove it in, you kind of want to make a little pocket for your jam. Just kind of go back and forth. Okay, so I've created holes in all of my donuts. I'm going to take this opportunity, this stopping point, to check our bread. So I'm just going to, exactly the same as I did with those donuts, just grab this guy out. Hello! Into the center. Boom. We're hit 85. They're a little janky, but I don't mind it. If you had taller loaf tins, then they wouldn't bleh as much. They'd have a bit more shape. You can get these tins that have a lid to them as well, so you can get a perfectly square loaf, which is really pretty. But I mean, you can hear that hollow sound. And you can see the swirls from where we rolled it up earlier. I like to take my bread out while it's still hot, because I find if you leave bread in a tin, it will start to steam and then it will start to get a bit sog. You don't want that. Oh yeah, you can really see the definition in that one. Woo! Yeah, he's a little well done, I'll be honest. Okay, I'll take that, I'll say that. Put my hands up, that one's a bit well done. But the rest of them, gorgeous. All right, we're just gonna let them cool down completely. You don't wanna cut into bread while it's still hot, okay? As tempting as it is, please don't cut into your bread while it's still hot. Let it cool down. Let the crumbs set. Now it's time to fill. We'll see. All right, just cut a little hole in your jam bag. I have to pick the donuts up. Oh my God, that's good jam. We're gonna have to do it like that. And then push until you feel resistance. That feels horrible, but that's, yeah. And then a little bit comes out the top. They do take a lot of jam. You can already see how much I've put in. Ooh. I mean, it's not like this house isn't full of jam. So if we run out of this jam, we've got other jam. Okay, now we've reached this point and I'm running low on jam. I want to make sure I get these cream boys filled with some of this jam.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's going to be top notch. So what I'm going to do is, do you think jam then cream? Yeah, probably. Try and half fill them with the jam. Just a little taste of it. Ooh. Okay, now cream time. This is going to be a lot easier to pipe actually. I can feel how stable it is. Oh, Meg. It's creaming time. They've been through a lot. I'm trying to like salvage it and make it pretty, but I don't think we're gonna have that. Okay. Get a visual on that, Meg. We should cut into one jam one and one cream one. Hell yeah. This one. Okay, I know there's enough jam in that. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yes, there's enough jam in that. Half of me, half of you.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's perfect. Because the jam's so tangy, I licked my lips, I fucked it. The vanilla sugar on the outside balances it all perfectly. And the dough's so light. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, we're gonna cut into one of the cream ones. I definitely did put probably too much jam in all of them. Meg says no. Oh my God, that's even better, isn't it?
Oh.
Fuck yes, Meg, this is for you. I'm gonna dip in here.
Oh my God.
The cream is even better. Don't talk with your mouth full.
Solero.
It does kind of taste a bit Solero-y. Having that creamy element balances it even better. Oh my God, that's so zingy and delicious. Oh, okay. You need to make these donuts. I know you won't have the same mix of berries that I have in my garden, but like blackcurrant jam in a donut and that dough, I definitely next time would put more rooibos tea in, but the vanilla sugar is delicious. And the vanilla sugar in the milk bread is really nice as well. It's kind of like caramelly. So I highly recommend doing that. If you don't have vanilla sugar, maybe just use brown sugar. Hey, or just mix it up. You can infuse whatever tea you want. You could do an Earl Grey, a black tea. You could try matcha, that would be fun. Especially with that color. Donuts are completed. I'm gonna wait for the bread to cool down and then we'll be back and I'll make that fruit sando. All right, see you then. And we're back. Like no time has ever passed. Ignore the little outfit change, okay? I might have just popped in the gym while the bread was cooling down, but we're gonna make our fruit sando. Gonna take this little guy. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's bread, strawberries and cream. Can't really go wrong. I'm very excited to see how this bread has turned out though. With the rye flour and the brown butter. Ooh, we got that nice little wholemeal. Oh, it smells good. Oh yes, you want a nice thick slice. Make sure it's even or I'll scream. Yes, okay. Perfect. Yes. Put our bread aside for now. I mean, people just, when you cut into it, it's just kind of like bloop, bloop, bloop. You see the cross section of the strawberry going through the middle. So I'm just gonna keep them whole. Or at least whole going through the middle. Luckily these are quite diddy strawberries, so if I put, yeah, I think I put those 3 in the middle, slices along the side. I'm going on vibes, let's be honest. I am gonna trim the crusts because, oh, that's not completely even. It's fine. So, I'm glad I've got it in a piping bag because I feel like it's gonna make my life a little easier. Let's go ridiculous. I do wish I whipped my cream a little softer, but I feel like that will work in our favor when it comes to slicing. We're gonna get a real clean slice. Gonna go like this. Although, do they cut them on the diagonal? So it would be like that, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe I do need 1 more strawberry then. No, let's do 3. 3 looks better than 4. I'm committing to 3. I feel like I shouldn't be caring this much about it, but I am. It's a strawberry sandwich at the end of the day, isn't it? You're not even gonna see these bits. They're just there for taste. And get in all the crevasses. I mean, it's a pretty indulgent sandwich, isn't it? It's just cake. It's just another way to enjoy cake. Is that too much cream?
No.
Meg says no. Just smooth. It looks pretty stupid right now, but trust me, I think it's gonna look great. It's the details. Okay. Don't worry, these crusts will get eaten. I want it to be like a little square. So we're cutting at that angle. This is the cut of truth. Yes!
Oh my god.
That is exactly what I wanted. The strawberry at the bottom's gone a bit wonky, but I think it's kind of cute. I mean, that is way better than the M&S one. It might not be better than the Japanese ones, but yeah! That looks pretty banging. I'm actually quite excited to take a bite out of that. She's quite heavy. It's like eating Victoria sandwich cake, but not as sweet. That's really nice. Meg, do you want a bite? I know I took a bite out of that, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a strawberries and cream sandwich. The clue is in the name. I've got to say, the bread is pretty superb bread. I mean, it's better than the M&S one, isn't it? If you can't get your hands on the M&S one, make your own. It's so simple to make at home. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you try and make something. If you do, send me a picture on Instagram or let me know in the comments. I hope you liked and subscribed because, you know, it means a lot. It means a lot to me and Meg, because we're on this YouTube journey together and we're just fucking these videos out with not a clue in the world.
Just 2 sisters.
We're just 2 sisters making silly videos, and we hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye!